Here we see the 51L crew enjoying breakfast. Mission Specialist Ellison Onizuka sitting beside teacher in space participant Krista McAuliffe. And they are posing for their traditional shot during their breakfast. And then we have Commander Dick Scobie sitting beside pilot Mike Smith in front of the traditional cake featuring Halley's Comet and an apple for the teacher. Judy Resnick on the left, mission specialist, along with Ron McNair, and payload specialist Greg Jarvis, all members of the 51L crew. And they're going to give it another shot today. There they are, the crew of Mission 51L, including teacher in space participant and the first private citizen to fly in space, Krista McAuliffe. This is shuttle launch control at T-minus 2 hours, 28 minutes and counting. Here comes the 51L flight crew boarding the elevator for the second time in 2 days, ready to depart the O&C building for the launch pad. And they'll ride down the 3 floors to the main level, where they will exit the O&C building, traditionally met by the members of the media who are standing by, waiting to document. And this is the work crew here that has been very active in preparing the 51L mission at the Operations and Checkout building. The payloads, which include a TDRS satellite, the Spartan Halley experiment. And here comes the flight crew now. Commander Dick Scobie, followed by Mission Specialist Judy Resnick, Ron McNair, pilot Mike Smith, followed by Krista McAuliffe, teacher in space, Ellison Onizuka, and payload specialist Greg Jarvis. Big smiles today, confidently getting into the van. They're going to go out to that pad and attempt a second try at launch today. It'll take a few minutes for the astronaut van to get to the pad.
T-minus 15 seconds. T-minus 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. We have main engine start. 4, 3, 2, 1, and liftoff. Liftoff of the 25th Space Shuttle mission, and it has cleared the tower.
Control program. Roger, roll, Challenger. Good roll program confirmed. Challenger now heading down range. Engines beginning throttling down now at 94%. Normal throttles for most of the flight, 104%.
These are the spectators.
We'll throttle
down
to
watching.
65% shortly. Engines at 65%, 3 engines running normally, 3 fuel cells, 3 APUs. Velocity 2,257 feet per second, altitude 4.3.
This is raw unedited video just sent via satellite.
Engines throttling up, 3 engines at 104%. Challenger, go and throttle. Velocity 2,900 feet per second, altitude 9 nautical miles, and resistance 7 nautical miles.
The picture you were just seeing is Krista McAuliffe's parents watching in horror. These are the students from her school. Many of them probably had their view blocked just as we did with the television cameras, with just a huge fireball and a huge cloud of smoke. They They may not realize yet what has happened. You see concern etched on their faces. The breath that they've been holding released. And then the realization sets in that something is wrong.
That shower in back there? Something came apart. When staged, it came apart.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
At that point, all that remained
From the
was
flight dynamic officer that the vehicle has exploded. The director confirms that. We're looking at checking with the recovery forces to see what can be done at this point. Contingency procedures are in effect. We'll report more as we have information
Edward and
available.
Grace Corrigan.
Again, to repeat,
They're about
we have
3.5
a
miles
report,
away from
relayed through the flight dynamic office.
the area of the launch pad,
We are
in the
now
VIP launch area.
looking at all the contingency operations and awaiting word from any recovery forces in the downrange field.
Families of the astronauts normally in the grandstands.
Tom, as John Zarella pointed out from the Cape earlier, when all of us first saw the blast, there was a moment of stunned silence and disbelief. Many people perhaps did confuse it with the, is it the booster
The
rockets?
solid rocket booster separation, which
But it
occurs
was
a
really,
little later.
it was
came
far
much
too early and far too big an explosion. And it took a while, I'm sure, for it to sink in the
Reports
minds
from the
of
flight dynamic
the
officer
parents
indicate
and
that the vehicle
school
There you
children.
see Mr. and Mrs.
apparently
Corrigan
exploded
still
and
standing,
that impact in the water.
saying a silent
At
prayer.
a point approximately 28.64 degrees
These are
north,
Christian McCullough's parents.
'Edward and
80.28
Grace
degrees
Corrigan.
west. We are awaiting
Mrs. Corrigan had said in an earlier interview with CNN that she would be thrilled to be the one to be up there herself. But she once took flying lessons just because she liked the adventure of it. They'd always encouraged their daughter to be adventurous and to go for it, in her words.
Tom, the area that we were just watching, the bleachers where people were watching and photographing the launch, who was allowed in there?
That is the VIP section, invited guests for this launch. I myself received an invitation from Michael Smith, who was the pilot on this flight, to sit in these same bleachers and to watch his launch. Michael Smith has been a guest here on CNN before on our launch coverage and sent me a special invitation to go.
That would then include family members of the astronauts, friends?
It includes family members. I understand there was a delegation from China of 100 people, school children from New Hampshire.
Challenger's pilot, as Tom just said, was Mike Smith, 40 years old. He was a commander in the U.S. Navy. He's from Beaufort, North Carolina, a graduate of the U.S. Naval Academy. He served in Vietnam, is married, and has 3 children. And we had an interview with him there on CNN back in July. Let's play that for you.
Heather, as an initial reaction, what do you think went wrong?
It's difficult to say, Alistair. I've looked at the pictures and I've seen the slowed down version as well. It looks to me initially as if something went wrong with the shuttle itself. If you look at the pictures in slow motion, it looks as if the right-hand engine of the shuttle itself exploded. You could see a tongue of flame coming out of it. That is right over the liquid oxygen fuel tank, which feeds the liquid oxygen from that enormous tank, the big brown tank that you see lifting off with shuttle, into the shuttle itself. So an explosion would have ignited the liquid oxygen, and that would have led to an immediate explosion of the whole assembly. And I think, as you saw, the whole of Challenger was just engulfed by flame. Nobody would have stood a chance.
That central tank you were describing is, as I understand it, liquid fuel, and would that have explained the flash fire that we saw in those pictures?
Yes, absolutely. You probably saw at the same time, again, if you look at a replay of the film, the two solid fuel boosters, which gives shuttles such a tremendous thrust on takeoff, they were actually ejected after that happened. The interesting point about it is that the explosion occurred at no specific state during the shuttle countdown. It wasn't when they should have ejected the solid fuel boosters. It happened 1 minute, 15 seconds into launch. And it's not clear what happened, except there does seem to have been a fault in the shuttle's own motors, its own engines. But again, I think we'll have to look at the videos again and see what wreckage is left.